wearers, this is Kez here. I'm bringing some videos to you on how to do things to your synthetic wigs, such as curl it and straighten it. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is how to curl synthetic hair, because it's not as easy as curling normal hair. There is a bit more of a process to it. I've got a wig here on my head, excuse the dye on it, this is Betty, and you can see this hair is quite straight. Now when you try and curl synthetic hair, I'll turn it around to show you. If you put the straightener through it and try and curl it and then let it go, it does nothing, it just falls flat. The reason for this is because synthetic hair doesn't work like human hair and it needs to be melted into shape. So I've got my straighteners here. You can see these ones do have a barrel that is rolled, but that isn't hot unless you actually got it on the curl setting. Now these straighteners I got from Amazon. They're by a brand called Elle's Eye. You can change the temperature, which is a good thing to have on your wig. I've got these up to 140. I don't go any higher than 150 usually, but sometimes I leave it at 130. The other thing that's quite handy to have if you're planning on doing this is a heat-proof glove. This came free with one of my wigs, but you can get them cheaply enough. And what that does is it stops your hand from getting burnt in the process if you are trying to hold the hair. So what you have to do for synthetic hair is this. I will show you a section. So you take the strand of synthetic hair and you can either roll it around like you planned to do and then sort of try and hold it in shape like so until it cools down. I don't find this gives the best curls, but it is a process that some people use. And then when you let it go, you can see it's formed a curl. So that's better if you just want loose waves. If you want actual curls, I find that the best way to do it is to run the straighteners down the hair so it's nice and hot. Take your gloved hand, wrap it around very loosely or tightly depending on what sort of curls you want. Keep it in place. Just keep checking the temperature to see how hot the hair is. Obviously mind not to burn your fingers. You can actually speed up the process by using a little bit of wig spray. So this one here is just a normal hold wig spray, just for conditioning, and if you spray it, it cools the hair down a lot quicker. Well, that's only if you're running out of time. You can just leave it, and then when you let it go, you have an actual curl. And that was just a little one to show you. I'll try and do a better one. So we'll take the strand here that is straight. What I usually do when I'm doing mine is run the straighteners through it to make it straight first, to make it easier, and then I do that a couple of times. Then starting at the bottom, I wind it around my finger just as if you would if you're playing with your hair, and I do try and let it cool down naturally because I find it gives the better results. So I just keep tapping it to check how warm it is. It's not too hot on this setting, but it can get quite hot, especially if you've had the straighteners on a while. And then when I feel ready, just let it go, and there you go. Curly hair. When you curl in this method, sometimes the bottom looks a bit raggedy. So what you can do then is just take the straighteners, straighten the bottom part, and just sort of tease it round, just by running your fingers along it, but not by keeping it in position for as long. And that just tucks it under so it looks nice and neat. Then you can also separate these curls. So if you can get a better look there, you can tease and separate the curls. You can do different kinds of curls. If you've got one of the small barrels, then you can wrap it around that. And then what some people tend to do as well, if they've done a different kind of curl, is they'll wrap it around an object like this, for example, so that it's actually wrapped all the way around, and then they will just pick it up in that position and hold it if they just wanted, say, a little twisty curl, like a beach wave kind of thing. And then when you let it go, that creates this different kind of wave here that you can see. Then if you want to straighten hair, that's fairly straightforward. You just run the straighteners down and hold it down. But there are methods to make it even better, which I will now show you. I take a wide tooth comb. This one is a special wig comb that comes from a Keshley's head shop, and they are brilliant. They come free with her wigs. So what you do if you want to straighten it is you comb the section first. Just turn back to the wig so you can see better. Comb through the section first to get it as straight as you can, and then you start at the top of the hair, and as you pull down you also use the comb to help straighten it. And as the straightener pops off the bottom, just hold it in place with a comb for a little while, and again keep checking the temperature to make sure that the fabric cools down, because technically synthetic hair is fabric, it's not hair, so you've got to treat it like it's fabric. And then when you take the comb off the bottom, it will start to go straight. So again, you start at the top, follow it down with the comb with your straighteners. It also gets out any knots as well, but it's a good idea to brush it to stop any knots first. Now that in itself, in this particular wig, is leaving it straight, but if that's not getting it straight enough for you, the other thing that you can do, this comb is ideal for it because it gives really thick, nice defined straight lines. But if that's not doing it and you wanted to try something else, what you can also do is take the hair and run them down, and then literally hold it taut. Again, I would use a heat proof glove. Just hold it like that, let it cool down. Again, you can spray it if you need to, and then you'll get straight hair again. And that is how you can turn hair from curly to straight on a synthetic wig quite easily. Some of the other methods I've used is I've wrapped the hair around a deodorant can to create bigger barrel curls. So I've ran the straighteners through and then wrapped it around like that around the can and left it to cool around the can, and then taken the can out, and that gives it curly sort of rolly waves as well. But the important thing whenever you're doing, whether it's straightening or you're curling the wig, the important thing to remember is that you're giving the hair a chance to cool down, because if you don't, that is when you don't get the better curls. I'll demonstrate a little bit on the wig I'm wearing just so you can see it completely properly. I mean, this is already quite wavy, but if I run the straightener down it and then wrap it around my hand like so, I'm just going to hold it in place literally around the fingers and just keep checking the temperature. Obviously make sure your wig is heat resistant, and when I let it go, it's got this lovely little curl to it, which it already had anyway, but it was just to sort of demonstrate how easy it is to do. Again, the same sort of technique if you're going to straighten the hair. Let's try it on this bit, we'll straighten it and then we'll curl it, and we're going to do it in a small section. Straighten, hold it down, you can either follow it with your fingers or with a comb. Leave it to cool. If you hold it taut, that's a good idea if you want it straight. That is completely straight now. Now I don't want it straight, I want it curly, so straighteners down it, wrap it around my hand. I'm doing it quite big beachy waves because that's how the wig is anyway. Keep touching it just to check when it cools down. Let it go, and we've got the wave back in it again. So I hope that helps some of you when trying to curl the wigs. If you found this video useful, please give it a like, and if you like these sort of videos, please subscribe to my channel. So until next time guys, take care, I'll see you soon.